Welcome back to Zwartkops for the Extreme Festival action. Action on track as well as off it, and everybody loving life. We go into the Investchem Formula 1600s right now with both of the leading championship contenders not in South Africa. Cam O'Connor overseas in the Formula 4 Championship in the United States of America, and championship leader Stuart White over in Monaco doing some driver testing with his team. So right now we're in a situation where two ex-champions, Scott Temple and Nicholas Van Wheelie, could potentially be brand new winners here this weekend. Unfortunately, it looks like it's not going to be Alan Meyer, who's parked on the sideline right at the start of the proceedings. It was Alex Gillespie who set the pace and put it onto pole position, but how's that for a start from Nicholas Van Wheelie, diving from the second row into the whole shot and getting through there. Scott Temple coming from the back there, and look out for Harman van Beek. He's actually in Stuart White's car, so he'll have very good pace, particularly here at Zwartkops.
Some tyres being locked up already going into turn number 2. These drivers know that they've got to take full advantage of our two championship contenders not being here this weekend. So Nicholas Van Wheelie and, like you said, Scott Temple, former champions, they know how to win and they want that number 1 plate back, and this is the time to take full advantage of that. As they come into turn 4 for the first time, fanning out there. Brilliant drive so far. Right up in the mix there is Harman van Beek as well. Thiago Rebello, Ian Schofield, Brandon Tracy, Siabonga, Monkonkwana, a little bit further down than we expected him this weekend so far, coming to the top of the hill for the first time. You can see the red car there, not having a good day in the saddle so far.
Yeah, remember, this basically the first time that he's come to Zwartkops in the Formula Fords, so he's used to driving without the wings and slicks, coming, of course, across from the Formula Vs. Now, looking for opportunities, there's Van Beek diving on the inside. Temple side by side with him as they go through. Oh, and look at Schofield. Schofield running ever so slightly wide. Ian Schofield eventually gets back on, but he loses out 2 positions. I think Thiago Rebello might have just dived through.
Yeah, and these cars, you run off, you lose so much time. You can see once you break traction from those tyres, you do lose so much time. And Schofield, unfortunately, running onto the dirty stuff, coming onto the front straight, and that's dropped him out of that podium contention. But for now, it looks like Van Wheelie and Liam Pienaar right up in the mix as well. They're trying to extend their lead out front, but there's 4-way battle now for that final podium position, and it looks like Van Wheelie is the man to catch. But what a drive so far from Pienaar, Gillespie and Andrew Schofield in that top 4.
Getting away from the rest of this pack, as you can see, being led out at this stage. It's not going to be an easy one. Van Beek holds on. Thiago Rebello on his tail. Then it's Schofield. We've got Brendan Tracy. Siabonga up there as well as we go on board here with Andrew Schofield. And he just fighting that car through the right-hander, the double right-hander Kenwood. Flick it through Mix FM and down the hill, trying to close down now on Pienaar. Pienaar had a good start, but he's lost a little bit of ground there, unfortunately, to Gillespie. Gillespie was the biggest of the losers there. Remember, he was on pole position after setting the pace in qualifying, but Van Wheelie, now that he's got to the front in that magnificent paints and hardware Van Diemen, is absolutely dominating.
Scott Temple, he won't be happy being down in 6th place, dancing there with Thiago Rebello, Ian Schofield and Brendan Tracy. So the former champion needs to step it up just a little bit if he wants to close in on our leading 4 drivers, but he's in a massive dice. Look at this now. Garth de Villiers, Joshua Dolenschek are right in the mix there with Siabonga, Monkonkwana, but out front, look at this battle now for 2nd and 3rd place. It's really starting to heat up. Brilliant dice here. Liam Pienaar, look at that, just chopping and changing at the top of the hill, trying to decide which line they're going to go around the outside. Pienaar, you're not going to make that stick, surely. No, Alex Gillespie just holding the line there. You can see the dotted lines. They've got to pick the lines, and Pienaar holds it around the outside. That's got to be one of the best moves we've ever seen around Zwartkops.
Now, the youngster not holding back here whatsoever, finding a way through. It was Gillespie who went defensive twice there, so he's got to be careful. You can't go chopping and changing your mind. You can go defensive once and make a move, then you've got to hold on there. And look at how he's trying to push to get back at Pienaar. He gets it lit up onto the rumble strip there as they came through G&H Transport Corner. Now down into Compendium Insurance Machine Corner, and look at this, absolutely nothing for these first 3, and this of course is still for 2nd place. They've got to find a way to close down on Van Wheelie. If they can keep fighting like this, Rob, there's no way they're going to do that.
Yeah, that's allowed Andrew Schofield to close onto the back of them now, so that 3-way battle for the final podium position is really raging now as we go on board with Siabonga, Monkonkwana now. You can see flat out stuff onto the back straight. He's caught in no man's land a little bit here, trying to attack the driver ahead of him, but still trying to defend behind him. So got a lot of work to do. Not a bad first outing at Zwartkops here for Siabonga, but he knows, and we know that he can run certainly in that top 5.
Yeah, he's definitely got the pace, and we've seen it all the time since he's been in single-seaters. Under braking, Jeremy dives on the inside, looking for a way through. Temple starting to make his way along with Brendan Tracy. So it looks like there's going to be some maneuvers here very shortly in this mid-pack battle, and the back end of the field also starting to heat up.
Yeah, this is it. Scott Temple, Thiago Rebello, Ian Schofield, Brandon Tracy in that massive little 2nd pack now, just behind our leading group. Harman van Beek also right in the mix there for that top 5. So it's a good battle. It's going to go all the way down to the wire, no doubt. You can see the bright red car there of Siabonga still trying to make some moves a little bit further down. If he can break into the top 10, it'll be a good result first time out. Here we go on the inside. Brilliant move there from car number 11. That's Scott Temple up into 6th place. So vital championship points there for him, but nowhere near the kind of pace that he would expect on board with Joshua Dolenchek now. Flat out right-hander. He's trying to make a move on the inside now. This is the final lap, so he's got to start making those moves now.
Now he's going to try and find a way through back on Jeremy. Don't know if he's going to be able to do that, but as they come up under braking, it is this man who's disappeared at the front end. Down towards the final turn, Nicholas Van Wheelie has done an incredible job. In fact, he's done a magnificent one for the paint and hardware car, taking the win there in the Van Diemen ahead of Liam Pienaar, who just got through in the closing stages there to beat out Gillespie. Gillespie only just hanging on to keep out Andrew Schofield, but great racing once again in the Investchem Formula 1600s. Van Wheelie from Pienaar, Gillespie and Schofield, Harmon Van Beek. It's Temple up into 6th place in his welcome return, Rebello and Schofield.
Ian, fantastic race in race 1.
Yeah, it was a good race. First race went well. Managed to get not the best of starts, and first couple of laps, for some reason, the car didn't switch on, and they pulled a bit of a gap on me, the Class A cars, but Class B was fine. Managed to get through and win that one. Yeah, good stuff.
These machines are truly magnificently built, and of course, remember, they are all fighting for 250,000 rands prize money and a chance to go to the Mazda Road to Indy. That's where last year's champion is, and of course he's doing a great job there. We wish him all the very best, of course, Julian van der Walt. But now it's up to race 2 time. Lights about to go on. When they go off, it's a standing start for single-seaters. Drop the hammer time, and Van Wheelie, this time looking for another good start. Didn't quite hook it up as well as what he did in the first one, and he loses out going there for Liam Pienaar to get the whole shot.
Yeah, Liam Pienaar just saw in his rearview mirrors and just chopped the nose off there of our race 1 winner, who comes on the inside and makes the move stick there. Liam Pienaar didn't see that coming, left the door wide open, and now he's going to try and stick on the tailpiece of our race 1 winner. Maybe those two drivers could just work together, pull away from the rest of the field. Gillespie, a pole position man from race number 1. He'll want to be in the mix there. A little bit disappointed with race number 1. Andrew Schofield as well. David Jeremy with a much better start right in the mix there, as well is Scott Temple.
Scott Temple going to have to do some work as well as they go down into turn 4 for the first time. Let's see if Temple can get higher than 6th place in the first outing. He's going to have to come from the back again, so there's a lot of work there to do for Scott Temple. His very similar liveried car there, Alex Gillespie, sitting currently in 3rd place. And there he goes. Oh! Siabonga going straight into the back end of the spinning Harmon Van Beek. And the fantastic racing man has ended up in the kiddie litter. Let's have a look at it from Siabonga's point of view. He's late on the brakes and just taps the back end. In fact, he helped him off.
Yeah.
Siabonga going in there a little bit too hot. And the two of them now, unfortunately, off track. Siabonga gets back on, but there's going to be a lot of front-end damage to that car. Harmon Van Beek didn't even see that coming.
Yeah, you could see that Siabonga just got it locked up, and of course, when those wheels are locked up, you cannot steer the car, and Siabonga had nowhere to go. Another angle here from Brendan Tracy, who did very well to avoid that, and he would be happy with that, seeing the 2 positions grabbed there. And up into that mix now for the top 10. So unfortunately, Siabonga and Harmon, that's vital championship points that you do not want to be losing at this crucial stage of the season.
Particularly when Harmon Van Beek is in one of the fastest cars in this series. You know, he stepped into Stuart White's car while he's on international duty, so he didn't want to end up in the kiddie litter, that is for sure. Look at this great battle for 1st and 2nd. Liam Pienaar definitely giving him a bit of a run for his money here, and Nicholas Van Wheelie is not having it his own way as we make a little mistake there. Oh, just a rookie mistake coming out. Not a rookie mistake. He's been involved with the championship for a while, but definitely something that he didn't want to do. Liam Pienaar just hanging on for dear life as he went in there and managed to just keep it on the black stuff.
Well, he was doing the right thing by just sticking with Nicholas Van Wheelie, not trying to disrupt the leader out front. Just go with the rhythm to pull away from the rest of the field. Oh, we got a spinner driver, and he still gives him, Scott Temple still gives him a little wave to say thanks for the position, I'm out here.
Temple moving his way up nicely there, but being helped out ever so slightly. I think it was Garth de Villiers who did the spin there. So he's just fortunate to make up 1 position there, not have to fight for it. 1, 2, and 3 across the line. There they go, and Van Wheelie now starting to open the margin. He's just giving a little bit extra space, but it's because of the small mistakes coming out of Liam Pienaar. Pienaar now just getting back into the rhythm, ahead of Gillespie, and Gillespie ahead of Schofield. So basically the same format as what they finished up in. The only man you got to keep an eye on, though, is Jeremy. Jeremy is a lot higher up than what he was in race 1.
You can see the little battle further down the field there between Ian Schofield, Joshua Dolenchek, Brendan Tracy, and Siabonga recovering after that mistake at the top of the hill. On board now with Piazza Musso. He comes under back straight. Also, just wants to be a little bit higher than he is at the moment. Not having the best weekend out at Zwartkops. These cars are so finely tuned for the racetrack that if you make one little mistake, really does sacrifice in horsepower. And of course, around Zwartkops, horsepower means lap time.
You got to try and get them in there and get them in as good as you can. Try and stay as smooth as this man. Multiple South African champion in his own right. Actually started racing on BMXs initially, so we've had a snowboarder and a BMXer here today as well.
That's what the Extreme Festival is all about. We've got all kinds of motorsport action happening throughout the year, and it's brilliant to catch up with these guys again. Siyabonga coming through the field after that mistake, so starting to close down and could potentially, with a couple of other drivers making mistakes as well, finish in another top 10. That would be a good recovery drive.
And considering the fact that he's only got one half of that front wing, he's doing a great job to try and keep that car going in a straight line, because it does lose a lot of traction, having not all the aerodynamics available to it. Good to see that man also got back on. So we can see with 1 lap to go now, it's a bit of a recovery drive here from Harman van Beek, and he's looking maybe just to get those championship points in the bag, as many as he can.
Yeah, he needs those, but the man out front, Nicholas van Wiele, taking full advantage of not having Stuart White and O'Connor here. Oh, who's that? It's Gerard Geldenhuys, unfortunately spinning out on the final lap. Not a good stay in the saddle for that young man, but I'm sure he'll be back at the next round. But out front, Leon Pino looks like he's going to hold down second place, but it is that mighty battle in the midfield that's going to go down to the flag.
Yeah, Gillespie's going to have to keep his eyes on the rearview mirrors and watch for the dive coming from Schofield. Schofield not close enough coming out of turn 4 though. I don't know if he's going to be close enough to make a move here into 5 into Sassel corner. And here we go, Van Wiele, final time through the double right hand at Kenwood. Runs a little wide onto the rumbles, but keeps it smooth. And now heading down towards Investchem and G&H Transport corner. He's got the second win, a double on the day here. And that is a fantastic outing. That's what you need to do when the two championship contenders are not here.
Well, look at that. Leon Pino just gave it all he could on that final lap. Did close that gap down, but I think it was more a case as well of Nicholas van Wiele just bringing it to the line. Henny the flag, waves that flag once again. Yeah, it will be Nicholas van Wiele out front, Leon Pino. Alex Gillespie just holding off Andrew Schofield, and one of the drivers of the day there in 5th place from David Jeremy.
Jeremy finishes up just ahead of Scott Temple, Schofield and Dolanchik, your top 8. In the National Championship points, it is still Stuart White out front by a comfortable margin, but a big move there from Van Wiele. He's done an incredible job. In fact, he's done a magnificent one.
Scott Temple, a big welcome back to Investchem Formula 1600 and a very interesting start to the race weekend.
Yeah, well, it started off going off to plan. We were fastest yesterday all day. We made the decision a bit late. Wednesday was the first time in the car, so we've had about 5 days worth of planning. So as I say, we were fastest yesterday, and then we just had some electrical gremlins this morning, put us out for qualifying, so we started back at the grid for both races. But yeah, we managed fastest lap and made 10 places in each heat. So I suppose we can be happy with that. Not as many points as we wanted, but let's look forward and see what we can do in the future.
Nick, a blinding start from the second row of the grid and you didn't look back.
Yeah, no, first race was a very easy start because everybody messed up and I got a gap. Second race I had to work for it a bit. Luckily Liam opened the door into turn 2 and I managed to get him and then just maintained the lead from there. We struggled a bit in the second race, but we still managed to pull off the win.